Number 7, features. Now this is generally where people start, but the reason why we didn't put this until later on in the video is because features are an area that we can really save you a ton of time in. So features are one section when people do the research that they spend probably the most time on. So it's the opportunity for us to save you the most time. And so here we're going to explain to you which features are important and which ones are a waste of money, to be frank. So this is going to be the number one area where people will generally make a mistake, is they overemphasize how many different features. So a lot of our customers, they will make a list and they compare, choice A, choice B, and so on with their top few chairs. And a lot of customers are looking for a chair that checks off all the different features. Let me tell you that is going to be, number one, a waste of your time. That's going to be quite a tedious undertaking because there's a lot of different chairs out there. But number two, the features are, although features are important, we would argue that good massage quality is actually going to be just as important as having a large number of features. Massage quality is going to be, the best analogy is if you can imagine going to a human masseuse, and let's say a human masseuse, let's just suppose you have two human masseuses. One is an expert human masseuse. Perhaps you've gotten a great massage before where you just close your eyes and this masseuse just gets all the timing right, the feel is right, the rhythm and the amount of time they spend on one part of your body is just perfect, and then they just know, they can almost read your mind about when they move on to, from your shoulders now to your lower back, and everything just feels great. And at the end of it, you feel rejuvenated, the knots are out of your muscles, so that would be a great massage quality. Now compare that to someone who probably is not as experienced, so a lower quality massage is going to be something that feels a little bit more rough, probably a little bit more noisy, as far as the motors are concerned. The pressure might be a little bit too strong and then suddenly too light. In short, when you're done with it, it just doesn't feel that excellent. And so that is what we call massage quality. And so that's not going to show up really on any web page anywhere. Fortunately, again, we have a lot of information about massage quality because we have not only reviewed all the chairs, we have sat in all of them, and then more importantly, we've sold thousands of chairs. So we know which ones customers really like the feel of the most. And oftentimes that comes down to massage quality, okay? So now I know this point is about features and that's what you're here to learn about, but I do just really want to emphasize that massage quality, it is, I would argue that it's a little bit more important even than features. Now that being said, let's get into features, okay? And by the way, just if at any point you want to just save yourself all this time because you're probably watching this video to help make sure you're making the right decision, and then we're giving you all this other information to consider, some of which you probably didn't know about before. So it's making your decision-making process even more laborious. And so just give us a call or chat with us, and we're just gonna ask you a few questions, and then we can simply just tell you, okay, here's the one we think you should get. Again, no obligation to buy. Now, let's get into features. Which ones are important? Which ones are a waste of money, okay? The important ones for most people are going to be a great stretch massage, and we're not gonna get into too much about that, but basically picture a chair that's just stretching, kind of pulling you from both extremities, your shoulders, and then it's pulling your legs the other way. So a great stretch massage. And the reason why I start off with this is because that tends to be one of the most popular massage programs that people enjoy. 3D and 4D massage. Again, we have a link in the description below which will explain about the difference between what is 2D versus 3D versus 4D, but essentially, to keep it simple, it's going to be 3D is what gives a massage chair the ability to increase the intensity. It's going to enable the rollers to push into your back deep or retract away to be more gentle. So that turns out to be a very important feature. L-track. L-track means that the track that the rollers kind of massage, let's say they're massaging your upper back, they go all the way down to your lower back, now they go underneath your glutes to massage your glutes and even the top of your hamstring muscle. That is going to be a pretty important and more or less standard feature nowadays. 3D and 4D are pretty much standard features as well. Now there are some other features that are more or less standard. We'll just rattle through them real quick. Zero gravity, heat therapy. We're not going to get into the benefits of all these right now in the interest of keeping this video somewhat more brief. So those are going to be more or less standard, okay? So you don't need to really make sure, because every chair we offer is going to have zero gravity, and pretty much every chair we offer has heat therapy. Now, there are a couple of new features that some of the top of the line chairs offer. Now, are they worth it? One is dual track massage, or dual roller mechanism, sometimes it's called, and other times it's called 4D plus 3D. So all that really means is traditionally you've had this roller system, again, it's massaging your upper back. I'm just going to try to simulate it with my hands here, but imagine this is massaging your neck area, and then it goes down to your middle back, lower back, under your glutes. Now imagine if you had a massage mechanism up here for your upper back and for your lower back at the same time. So that is what the dual track systems do. Some notable examples would be the Ogawa Master Drive Duo, the Osaki Duo Max, the Laraco i9 Max Special Edition, to name a few. These are very popular examples of new chairs that offer this kind of dual track mechanism. And basically what it means is it's just like having a second masseuse massaging you. So again, the main benefit is massages your upper back and lower back at the same time. That is, now to be fair, that is a nice feature and nice to have. That would not be something that we say is something to really stretch your budget for, though, because every chair is going to still massage your entire back from your neck down to your lower back. The dual track really just means that you get the upper and the lower at the same time, but even if it doesn't have this feature, you will still get the same massage chair coverage. It'll still eventually do from the top to the bottom, just like a regular masseuse will. It just takes a little bit more time, that's all. So it's nice to have, but if it's gonna put you in a precarious financial situation to spend extra to buy that feature, then we would say probably not worth it for you. Other kind of features that you should consider are the type of remote control. So some of our older folks typically will really prefer the tablet remote. So that means that it's basically a large touchscreen tablet. The reason people prefer that nowadays is because it's bigger, it's easier to see. The other style is this old kind of handheld remote with these tactile buttons. That is not quite as user-friendly, so that's one thing to consider if you're someone who perhaps is middle-aged or senior citizen. Most people will prefer the tablet these days. One other feature is voice commands. Now, voice commands, it sounds nice. You could just tell the chair what you want it to do. However, in practice, that is a feature that we find to not be a great useful feature because it is quite restrictive in how specifically you have to give certain commands. And so in our experience, most customers don't end up really using voice commands that much, okay? Other features that we find to be more or less a waste of money are chromotherapy or light therapy. So if you're really stretching your budget because you're trying to get a chair that has chromotherapy, well, for most people, we would recommend not getting the chromotherapy feature if you're stretching your budget for it. Chromotherapy basically just means fancy colored lights on the outside of the chair. The only time that really is going to be effective anyway is if you're using the chair in a darkened room where you can actually notice the glow from these lights. Otherwise, you're really not going to notice it. One other popular feature nowadays is AI, artificial intelligence, sometimes known as a health sensor or health detector. Now, the idea behind this is nice and it's starting to get good, the feature. It's not great yet, but it does offer a noticeable benefit nowadays. And basically what it is, it's going to be a sensor that you typically put your fingers on or your thumb, and the chair is going to be able to sense your stress levels through sometimes your the actual conductivity, meaning like if you're sweating, that means you might be stressed, or your heart rate. And so basically what it does is it's geared to get the chair to read the feedback from your body so that it can tailor the massage to you. It'll actually help you pick a program that is specifically designed based on your current stress level. Other times it will detect right when the massage gets to a knot in your back, a painful area, you'll feel like a little, you might wince a little bit, and your body actually gives a little feedback to the sensor that you're holding, and the chair will know that that is a muscle that needs more emphasis, more focus on massaging that area. So that is what, generally speaking, what the AI means for massage chairs. So again, it's a nice to have, but if you're gonna really be stretching your budget too much where you're gonna have trouble making your payments, then probably something you'll want to wait until the next generation of massager comes out in a few years, and you could get something more reasonably priced now.